Welcome back to another episode of Topic of Discussion. I am your host, Miles Berry. And without further introduction, let's get right into it. So, I recently did an episode that was titled The Lack of Patience. So, today I'm just going to do a part two to that. It's not going to be too long. So, with that said, let's get right into it. So, as I stated on the last episode, our lack of patience is killing us. My lack of patience is killing me. Okay. Our lack of patience is killing us. Okay. So this topic just been on my heart heavy, and I've been going through, you know, certain things in my life that been making me contemplate certain things. So I just wanted to come over here with a part two, why it was just strongly on my heart. So I just want to say that as we face things in life and we go through certain aspects of life, we're gonna feel like we're waiting forever for a change. Sometimes we're gonna feel like how long do I have to keep putting myself through this before I can go to the next step, or I can flip this page or turn to the next chapter. Meaning that I'm ready to transition to another phase of my life, but at the same time, it's like every time I'm trying to turn the page or every time I'm trying to flip to the next chapter, it's like it's not ready yet, right? It's like the words are not written on the page yet for me to turn to the next page or turn to the next chapter, right? So I'm turning to a blank page because it's like that part hasn't developed yet. And I'm trying to turn to a page that hasn't developed yet. And it's like, why are you trying to rush to turn the page? Finish reading this page first. Finish understanding this page first before you switch the page or turn the page to a blank page, a page that hasn't been developed, that hasn't been written in yet, right? So sometimes in life, I feel like we just have to be patient with things. And although things make us tired, frustrated, stress us out, if you truly believe and you have a relationship with God and you just believe in yourself, I feel like your time is coming. And your time will always be coming if you're pushing yourself in that way and doing every step that you need to take along the way to be in the best position possible. And sometimes in life, we have to go through things that we do not want to do. Or sometimes we have to do things in life that we may not be ready for. But at the same time, it's all part of the process to get to where we're going. And sometimes we put ourselves in this position from our past actions, from things that happen. Sometimes we're just in this position because it's part of life. But at the same time, the biggest thing is how you transition. And I don't mean how you transition as far as like just moving on to the next chapter in life, but just how you transition through the different phases and different parts of this page, right? Of this page in your life or this page in your book of life, right? And there are going to be different obstacles along this page and along this part of your life before you can even go to the next phase. So, how are you handling these obstacles in your life, right? So how are you handling yourself when you get so stressed out that you don't want to go to work tomorrow? How do you feel when you get so stressed out when you want to quit your job, but you haven't came up with a plan? If I quit my job, this is exactly what I'm going to do, and this is going to benefit me more than if I quit my job, right? What plan have you came up with? I'm gonna take a risk and I'm gonna take a leap of faith for my own business, for my own success. And I already learned the business portion, and also how to be the most successful businessman or businesswoman in the world, right? Because that's where your mind has to be. I'm going to be so successful. I'm not going to need another job. I'm not going to have to do this. I'm not going to have to do this. That should be our end goal. But during the phase to get there, or during your steps to get there, sometimes you have to go through certain things. You're going to have to go through certain jobs. You're going to have to, just go through whatever your path leads you down to, because sometimes everybody can't just make that transition from, all right, I had a job, boom, I'm a successful entrepreneur. Sometimes people got to go to a job, wiggle their way in a little bit with their business, go to another job, or maybe stay with that job for a certain amount of time, wiggle their business, wiggle their business, wiggle their business, and then they can transition to their business and be successful. So everybody's route is different. So that's why I like to say, again, my slogan, I guess you can call it, the art of comparison is the creation to evil, because I feel like when you compare yourself to other people, when you compare yourself to other people's success, how they got there, how they did it, how long it took them, you start to put that on yourself, right? and it can cause stress, it can cause frustration, it can cause anger, it can cause acne, it can cause just a lot of, it can also cause temptation where it tempts you to do something that's not you, right? And you try to hurry up and get it, or you trying to hurry up and do this, but it's not you, right? And sometimes we just need to slow our life down and think about our actions and say, okay, you know what? Forget what the world's doing, forget what my friends are doing, forget what my family's doing, forget what my parents are doing, forget everything. How do I be successful for myself, right? How do I reach happiness for myself? What are the steps that I need so when I flip this chapter, I flip this page, it's already written down, right? Because I understood this page that I was on now. So therefore, since I understood, because you have to understand where you are now, right? Because if you don't understand where you are now and you're just trying to jump around, when you flip that page or turn that chapter, it's going to be blank because you haven't developed on this page yet. You haven't understood this page that you're on, this chapter that you're on. So if you're trying to turn to another chapter, it's always going to be blank because you haven't developed and you haven't understood this chapter yet, right? So we need to take time to learn this chapter that we're on, understand ourselves in this point in our life, understand who you are now. You might know who you want to be in your future. You might not, I'm sorry, you might know where you want to be in your future. You might know where you want to be, period, in life. And you also might know where you want to be right now. But at the same time, understand where you are right now, not where you want to be. Always have that in your mind, but understand where you are now, mentally, physically, and emotionally, right? Because you need to understand yourself so you can understand what you need to do to be a better version, right? And sometimes, again, it goes back to the topic of patience, the lack of patience, because we're always trying to rush everywhere and trying to go to the next step, turn to the next chapter, but we haven't understood this chapter. We haven't understood this page. We haven't fully developed here, right? So, again, the lack of patience, and I want us just to slow down our life. Just slow down. I know we don't live forever. I know we're trying to hurry up and do things because we never know when our last day is. But let's just slow down. Just slow down, because I promise you, if you keep stressing yourself out, causing that frustration, being mad, being irritated, having agony, you're gonna kill yourself faster than if you would just been patient and let your life develop. Because stress kills, right? And why would we want to die from our own stress? So let's continue to develop, let's continue to heal, and let's continue to be blessed. And let's just take it one day at a time, you know. I know we're not perfect, and let's just continue to grow and continue to be a better version of ourselves every day. Okay. This was titled The Lack of Patience, just a short video. I just wanted to explain something and put something out there that was on my heart. Hope you learned something. This has been Miles Berry, topic of discussion. We out.